Hey, welcome back. Today we're doing some delicious St. Louis style spare ribs. All right, guys, so here's my slabs. I actually squared these off myself. All I did, you take the rib tip off and you square off the slab in order to get your St. Louis cut. These are some nice meaty ribs that we have here. Each slab was about 3.5 pounds prior to cutting them down. I am going to remove the membrane. I've already washed them down, and we're going to season them up with some house-made seasoning. In my house-made seasoning, I have brown sugar, granulated garlic and onion, black pepper, a little bit of salt, and some smoked paprika. It has a nice, sweet, little savory seasoning that we're using. It's going to turn out really, really good. We're going to smoke these off with my pellet smoker. I'm going to determine whether or not we'll wrap when we get further along in the cook. But you can see here, we've already seasoned up the back half. Again, I pulled the membrane and everything, seasoned up the back half, and then we're going to go ahead and repeat the process on the front. We're going to be using some pecan pellets in this particular cook, and I'm also going to be using the smoke tube pellet grills, especially the one I have. It's an older Members Mark pellet grill. You don't always get a super pronounced smoky flavor. It does a decent job, but it could always use a boost. That way I use my little smoke tube. I'm seasoning these ribs liberally because my seasoning does not have a ton of sodium in it. It's mostly the spices and the brown sugar and pepper that we have. So I am going to go nice and liberal with these. No binder was necessary because we did allow our ribs to kind of come up the temp a little bit and get a little sticky on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and let my seasoning sit a little bit longer. Got my pellet grill coming up to temperature, and then when it's time to put them on, we'll go outside and I'll let you see the next step. I'll be right back. Okay, family, so I've got them out here on the grill. 250 degrees is what we're going to be running at. You can see the smoke tube is doing its thing, smoking right now. We're just going to let them go. All right, time to check on our ribs. We've had them going now for about an hour and a half, and you can see they're picking up some really nice color. The seasoning is starting to tack up really, really well and stick to the ribs. So we're going to go ahead on now and give them a nice little spritz just to try to keep them moist. In my bottle, I have a little bit of apple cider vinegar, water, and a little bit of Worcestershire, but you can use straight water if you wanted to as well. All right, guys, so we've let them go another 45 minutes. They're looking really good. We're starting to have a little bit of a pullback on the bones there. So these ribs are cooking up really, really nicely. I probably will flip them, let them continue to cook maybe another hour or so. We'll take another look at them and decide whether or not we're going to wrap. All right, see you in a little bit. All right, guys, so we're about 3.5 hours in, almost 4, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap them. Just look at these ribs. They've taken on plenty of color, plenty of smoke, and just look at them dripping. This is going to be a very basic wrap. I'm just going to put a little of my spritz in the foil and cover these bad boys up and put them back in the smoker. I'm not going to add anything else to them. I put plenty enough rub on them as it was, and I just want to, do a nice basic rib for them. So we're just going to spritz them, like I said, cover them up tightly, and throw them back. So we've got our ribs off the smoker. I have allowed them to rest for about 45 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and cut open the rack and let you guys see what we had, what we did today. Look at that. Look at the pullback on these bad boys. Nice and moist. Look at the color. Goodness gracious. Look at that. Ready to fall apart. Now, I don't like necessarily fall off the bone ribs. I like them close to that point, and that's exactly what these are. I do like a little bit of a bite in my rib. So I want to go to the center here. Boy, if you can't tell me you can get any better than that. Look at the moisture. I'm not doing none of that squeeze stuff, but just look at that rib. Nice little smoke ring on it, cooked well. I had the smoke tube rolling as well as just the smoke from the pellets to try to get a more pronounced smoke. That's one of the things about a pellet smoker. Sometimes you don't always get a heavy smoke, so the smoke tube helps with that. And these ribs are perfect, y'all. Look at that. So I'm going to finish slicing these bad boys off. put them in a pan, wrap them up, and make sure that they get them this evening. I hope you guys enjoyed this cook. Follow this recipe, follow these steps, and you'll make some awesome ribs as well. Again, Taylor's Fire and Smoke Cooking. God bless you all. We'll see you.